Okay, today we're going to talk about the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotes, they are things like bacteria cells, so they're very small. Okay, prokaryotes means that they do not have a nucleus. So we're going to remember that pro means no nucleus. All right, they also do not have any membrane-bound organelles. No membrane-bound organelles. All right, now eukaryotes, these are much larger cells. So they're larger. I want you to remember that eukaryotes, they do have a nucleus. All right, they also do have membrane-bound organelles. And when we say membrane-bound organelles, we mean things like the ER, the rough and smooth mitochondria, the Golgi body, and other organelles like that. Whereas prokaryotes do not have those membrane-bound organelles, eukaryotes do. Eukaryotes include things like plant cells. You can see how much larger it is, even though it's not drawn to scale. Eukaryotes are much larger. They consist of plant cells, animal cells, as well as many different other kinds of cells. Another thing that we need to know is prokaryotes. Not only are they small, but they're very simple, which is kind of obvious because if they don't have a nucleus, they don't have membrane-bound organelles, they're just really simple. Eukaryotes, we say, are more complex. All right, now there are some things that both prokaryotes and eukaryotes have in common. Both prokaryotes and eukaryotes have a cell membrane. Every cell has to have a cell membrane. That's going to control what can enter and exit the cell. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes also have cytoplasm. And cytoplasm is the jelly-like fluid where all of the chemical reactions take place, and it's basically what fills in all of this space right here. So it's going to fill in all the space in both of the cells. They also have ribosomes. And so ribosomes, they just make proteins. And they usually look like those little dots, so we can put a couple dots in there. But they are in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic. And if you're having trouble remembering, you can think about it like this. Ribosomes, they're really small. Like I said, they're just those little dots. So that would definitely fit in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Oh, let me draw my nucleus over here. All right, we know eukaryotes have that nucleus, whereas prokaryotes do not. If I were to draw something like a mitochondria, okay, usually they're red in the pictures, you can see the size of the mitochondria is almost the exact same size as the prokaryotic cells. So there's no way that I could even fit a mitochondria or a Golgi body or a rough ER in my prokaryotic cells. It's just not going to fit. And then the last thing, prokaryotic cells. Remember, they're small, they're simple, they don't have a nucleus. They were the first ones on Earth. So I'm going to just say the first here. And then eukaryotes, they actually came later. They were derived from the prokaryotes. So I'm just going to write they came later. And that basically sums up the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So don't forget, pro means no. Pro means no nucleus. And eu means it do. Eukaryotes do have a nucleus.